Hey guys, thought a good video today would be the reassembly of the 9R that you just saw me paint in the last video. So let's get started. Okay guys, so the 9R is ready for reassembly. First step is to put on the decals for clear coat. The only decals you got to put on are SMV signs, just a touch of detail paint on the lights, and it's ready for clear coat. So I've already got the SMV signs soaking here. See if they are ready. So the way I always deal with these small ones is I'll just put it on my finger. Come on. There it goes. Okay, so there's the decal. Very carefully get between your finger and the decal. And then just simply set it into place. Use paintbrush to adjust it. Come on. Bingo. So I'll put on the other one, then we'll meet you guys out in the garage and we'll put on the coat of clear coat. Clear coat is applied. It's looking good. Now, next step I'm going to take is get all the handrails and mirrors, beacons, all that. Excuse me. Get all that put on the cab. Tell them we'll see you in a minute. Tell them we'll see you in a minute.
We'll see you in a minute.
Okay guys, got beacons, mirrors, CB antenna, radio antenna, back cab rail, handrail. So the cab is done. Now to get started on the tractor body, I'm going to add the weights to the rear end. Ryder's singing us some weird song. And then start adding tires. I got the axle spacers, axles, and then the tires. In order to get them tight for 30-inch spacing, I had to drill out the center so that they would slide on basically all the way to the body. Gonna see how close we can get this thing to 60-inch spacing. Okay guys, so I've ran into a slight problem here. So to get the inner wheels set all the way in, I had to drill them out like I was showing you to make them fit tight. Then to get the outer wheel spaced correctly with the axle length that I cut, that's what the main problem here is. I got the axles too short, but everything is glued solid in place, so I really don't want to tear it apart. What I did was I took front wheel assist hubs that should cover up, you know, the gears and all that on the outside of the tire. It would essentially be that round piece right there that's already molded into them tires. I took those and put them on the outer tire to fill in, and honestly I really like the way it looks in there. Problem is I only had one set, so I'm gonna hop on Shapeways real quick, get another set ordered, and then I will pick this build up again. The one other thing I'm going to do in the meantime, tractor came decaled as a 560. I have to look at my paper, but I do believe these are supposed to be 460s. So I'm going to peel that decal off, put on a new one. I just got decals in the mail yesterday for all the R series. So I'm going to get that done. I'll take the grill off, just a simple screw there. Put the decal on, shoot a quick coat of clear coat. That'll be ready to stick on. Until I'm done really handling it, I don't want to put on the front weight set because I don't want to hit that, you know, picking it up. Same reason I don't want to put on the cab yet. So yeah, I'm just going to leave this like this. Probably take about 2 weeks to get the the correct parts in, so I'll pick up the video there. Alright, I gotta call a timeout on the rebuild of this 8R, or 9R, sorry. Mainly because there's been a few changes. One, when I started building this was going to be a 9-460R on duals, and it was only going to be pulling a 36-row planter. Now it needs to be a 9-560R on triples, because it's going to pull that 36-row planter and the big Deere air seeder. I can't remember the number, like CS860? No, that's cotton stripper. I don't know. Either way, you guys know the big John Deere air drill looks a lot like the Borgart. And in changing, I've gotten to where I really love the rubber tires, but I hate the rims that come with the rubber tires, guys, because they are all the same. There's no inner and outer. They are all smooth on one side and then have the pushed out on the other side, which these ones is hard to see because of the wheel. There we go. So obviously, you know, you'd have your inner side up against the tractor, so you can't see that. That's not that big a deal. But then when you go to put your second dual on, it looks wrong because everything's pushed out instead of dished in the way it should be. So what I did was I ordered 3D printed wheels and tires. Been slowly getting them painted, put together. Now the next holdup is because I ordered duals at first, because it was still going to be a 460 whenever I changed it. Now I got to get my triples painted up, which you can see there. So these guys are just kind of on there as mock-ups. So that guy was just up against it. You can see the spacer I need to get painted, and then get that guy painted. So yeah, a little frustrating setback, but we'll keep rolling along. Okay guys, I actually caught a rain out on harvest today, so I'm trying to get this wrapped up because this video needs to go out in a couple of days. Triples are on. They're not perfect, but for the first time ever messing with it, I like them. Cab is already done and ready, so I'm going to snap the cab on, the hood on, and the tanks on, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, there it is. First ever tractor I did with triples. Definitely a strong learning curve on this thing. Been a frustrating learning curve on this thing because I've went through so many sets of tires. I think I'm going to do a video about tires because there's so many options out there now, but I decided to go with triples because I'm putting this on a 36-row planter and an air seeder. So I figured the wider stance could be really handy. I can tell shuffling it around, this one tire's moving a little. Because I didn't make the axles long enough for a triple, it's really having some trouble keeping them all on and keeping them all straight. As you can see, the stance is pretty good. I like the stance. There's just that little guy up there is a little close for me, but you know, whatever. But there it is. 9-560R finished. Project that started, I think it was New Year's Eve when I stripped all these tractors apart, because as you can tell watching these video series, I was doing all these things at the exact same time for ease rather than doing one complete tractor at a time. So I stripped that on New Year's Eve, and here it is, Father's Day, finally finished. And as much as I don't like it, I'm in love with it. If that makes any sense at all. So there's that video. Now the problem is I'm out of pre-made videos starts, so now I gotta come up with something clever for next week. Well, I guess we can talk about tires. Alright guys, but with that being said, I'll talk to you in the next video. Make sure, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know what you think, let me know what I did wrong, because I'm no expert at this. Talk to you guys later.